Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Final Show Films. I am Sen, your executive producer. I want to thank you all for tuning in. I particularly want to thank our $20 tier supporters over on our Patreon page at patreon.com/fsfilms, those being Jerry Alexander, Samantha Bates, and Al, without whom we wouldn't be able to do nearly as much as we do now. So thank you very much for your support over the years. And those of you that are watching live, please sit back, relax, and enjoy. And we're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Exandria Rising. I am Sen, your game master for this evening, and I am joined this week by Shani.
Hi, I'm Johnny or William, and I am playing Najka Fleam Hollow, the orcish Forge Knight craftsman.
And Jeremy.
Hi, I'm Jeremy. I am playing Elafira, who is a water genasi rogue.
And Jack.
Hi, I'm Jack. I'm playing uh three goblins in a trench coat. Um Meanie Manny, Gesby, and Peas. I didn't forget their names, I promise.
And Craig will be joining us shortly. He's just in traffic right now on the way back to his house, but he's playing Grouper. And Trevian.
Revian, I am playing Tenebrous, a Gerbine Witch.
And Holly.
I'm Holly. I am playing Davina, a awakened mystic silky folk.
Order of the Awakened Mystic Selkie Folk.
Yeah,
Awakened Mystic
I'm
Selkie Folk
reading-
sounds like you were a tree that got magic cast on you.
I am reading them in the order I see it. Okay.
Fair. As always, Black Lives Matter, trans rights, human rights. Insert middle fingers towards individuals as require them here.
Everyone.
Yeah,
Just fucking everyone.
yeah.
And the music for this stream is brought to us by Overclock Remix over on YouTube. Thank you very much for letting us use your music. When last we left off, there was a giant squid chasing a small mouse down a hallway. Before that, because we have kind of need the giant squid here to continue that, was there anything anyone else was doing before you turned in for the evening the night before? As a reminder, before the giant squid came through, you had all had a bit of a drinking problem in the woods.
I was going to say, yes. One thing I would like to do is request a recap because it's been like 3-4 weeks.
So, after doing some attempted training in order to sort of refamiliarize everyone with everyone's skills via the Cobalt Souls sort of illusory vision training, and that going just super. The group had some fraying at the seams and a few heart-to-hearts that culminated with Davina working extra hard to get everybody around a fire in the woods at night where they could talk about things and not have anybody thrown into the fire, interestingly enough. The consensus was that everyone was going to seems to have been that everyone was going to try their best to get along and continue towards Otterglace in the morning, which is the pre-calamity ruins in the Tuarnian jungle on the island of Tuartakala that you all hail from. In this conversation, we revealed some bits and pieces of everybody's past and what people did and didn't know, as far as the connections between Elafira and Rook, the mysterious Rook who saved Davina from the events that were occurring while Davina was captured by mysterious individuals. The only one of whom she's able to identify is a masked humanoid figure named on.
Silos.
Russian, whom the entire party has now seen because of the illusory training. So there's that. There was lots of alcohol had. I believe Elefira had to be carried off because she was that drunk.
Correct.
Elefira tried to sneak away, failed to crawl away, and
Failed
then
so badly. Got carried away by an automaton.
Yes. And then what we'll be picking up on when Craig gets back, when Craig gets here, is there was then a dream sequence wherein Grouper and Tenebris both seem to have shared a vision, although not 100% certain that they have. When asked about it, Tenebris was cagey, which resulted in Grouper turning into a giant octopus and chasing him out of the room.
Only logical response.
What
Yep.
else?
Tenebris just woke up from what is a bad dream, tried to be questioned about it, and then saw Grouper turn into a giant octopus. That he doesn't like giant octopi.
Tenebris might still be thinking he's in the bad dream, honestly, at this point.
Poor Tenebris.
Because that's kind of a nightmare scenario right there. It's like, yes, my friend asked me a question and then turned into a giant octopus at me.
Maybe you're not actually awake yet.
Maybe it's all a dream. But before that rampaging through the hallway wakes the rest of you up, because it will, was there anything that anyone wanted to get done or have any conversations, these scenes about before the long rest actually happened? Please, someone say yes, so we don't just sit here awkwardly for 15 minutes waiting for Craig.
Like,
Everyone say no.
I am open for conversations, but honestly, I don't think Ella is in a position to crawl to somebody else's room to talk.
Fair.
Otherwise, I would figure something out.
Wake up in the middle of the night, suddenly sober.
Um,
And angry.
I think the biggest thing is that anyone who is still awake in the evening probably hears the very loud and obvious noise of a very tall orc in full armor leaving her room and just making her way towards the nearest high point that has a good view, probably the roof, if there is roof access to this inn.
You're not staying in an inn, you're staying in the Cobalt Soul library.
Right, yeah.
There is roof access, but not for you. Well, you assume there's roof access because you can see parapets at the top of the cathedral, but you have no idea how to get to them.
Find me, make me carry me, tell me to tell you where to go.
But you could
Just
also
Elefira on this giant orc's shoulder.
you could also just
walking.
make your way out to the cliff, if you so
Also that.
because you are currently in Cridum, which is at the opposite end of the island from Skrios, which, again, as a reminder for the people watching and for the players, because it's been a while, the entire island of Tuatapala is tilted. The Cridum is the highest point on the island outside of the mountains. But it's like equivalent elevation to the mountains at the lowest end of the island, which is where Skrios is. So it's pretty high up, pretty steep cliff going right down to water, with a bunch of airship docks and the like going down the cliff face.
I think Najka's not being quiet about it. I think she's just trying to find a spot where she can get a decent view of the environment, in particular, just the open plains leading down towards the wall, which should be relatively easy considering we're at the highest point on the island.
No, basically anywhere. Cridum is built on an artificial plateau. It was artificially raised. Basically, the ground level was artificially raised, so the entire town wasn't tilted. And so you go down, you go to the grand steps that lead out the gates, and down, and then to the hill, to the forest and hillside. And you just don't go down the steps and go around instead. You can very easily get a very good view of the plains stretching down below it, down before you past the forest.
And she's just like, as she's going, she's just got like a set of tools in her hand. Her tool belt is on her, and she's just tinkering with the the uh the grudge settler, her shotgun axe, and it's just like making adjustments to it as she just sort of idly walks and finds a decent view to just sort of sit down at, um, and just sort of quietly sits down and continues tinkering with the weapon while she just sort of looks out across the plain, sort of not quite disassociating in that she's not just like not thinking. She's planning the next couple of days, thinking on what the hell just happened over the past night, and like taking in what is probably one of the last real major views of her home island that she's gonna get for a while after they leave. And if anyone shows up at the same place, having heard her leaving, that is up to them.
Peace will show up,
Peace. Okay.
dog in tow, and just quietly sit down next to her.
Hey there, Peace.
Okay.
It's all relative, isn't it? By comparison to some other people, I am fine.
I don't think comparisons help.
Maybe not all the time, but it provides context. Sometimes your worries are, you realize are a bit small and petty when you compare them to some of the things that other people have to deal with.
What is it that you're worrying about?
I could start listing things off, but I'd be here all night. It's nothing that I would call major or large, but a million small things. Just what are we going to find in the place that we're headed? What if it doesn't give us any leads? What's about to happen over the course of the next few weeks? What are we going to find when we get to Kaimel? Kaimel is the place we're headed in a few weeks, right?
No. Stillben.
No.
Stillben. What are we going to find when we get to Stillben? There's too many variables and unknowns ahead of us, and every unknown variable is just a trap waiting to spring.
Going to find something when we go down to the jungle. Either we'll find that it's safe and unmolested, or we'll find that they've been there. But those are both things that we'll find.
If we find that there's some third factor at play, whatever was the cause of that metal crab that we saw on our childhood journeys maybe has crept its way into our Glace, and that's a third threat that's completely unrelated to what's been fucking up everyone here. That's nonetheless something that needs to be dealt with, but is ultimately a distraction from whatever's been going on here.
Like Najka's been holding on to that metal crab for 5 years, just like that mental image of the crab that got away.
Now, she hasn't been holding on to it. It's just that now that she's back on the island, the crab memory is back.
The crab returns.
I think we mentioned the crab when we stayed at Aorna too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not that old of a memory at this point. It got refreshed then.
If there's something third there, then either it's relevant to us and we're learning something new, or it's not relevant to us and we leave it alone and let someone else deal with it. It's,
I don't think letting someone else deal with it's in some of the people in our group's repertoire.
Nashka included.
so now we're not worried about what we're going to do because we have control over that. We're worried about our friends.
Friends, enemies. I hate not seeing the path ahead. Not having a formula, a plan, something to work with. I hate not knowing the challenge. If I know what the wall in front of me looks like, I can build the battering ram to knock it down. But when all I'm faced with is smoke and the potential of a fire somewhere, I don't know what to deal with it.
Path disappears a lot. You keep walking and find it again.
And yes, eventually we'll figure out what the problem is. And I'll do what I can to make something, do something, make a plan, fix the problem. And I know that I will when I get there. I feel like I'd much rather get a head start on it.
You can only get as far ahead as you're able. And right now, as far ahead as we're able is enough sleep so we can travel. But if you're worried about losing the path, but I guess you're really good at still walking. We'll help you find it again.
Good to see you again, Peace.
Just smiles a little bit.
I've missed the straightforward approach. Everything's complicated in Whitestone.
Everyone's good at making things complicated.
That did not
That
come
was
across
real
at all,
quiet.
Jack.
Yeah.
Everyone's good at making things complicated. But all you can ever do, no matter what you're doing, is the next thing. And that's not complicated.
Maybe I need to stop looking at the forest and start looking at the trees.
Speaking of, make a perception check. Both of you.
How many trees do you see?
22.
Why was that a disadvantage?
Well, I don't know why it's a disadvantage.
And the first was a 13 anyways, so. As y'all, because you currently have a commanding view of the island right now. Obviously you can't see from one side to the other because that's not how vision works, particularly not at night. But looking out across, you see there's a good strong evening wind blowing, and you sort of seeing this rippling grass, this rippling wave of movement in the grass beyond the forest. That unbroken, indicating that there are no evening travelers occurring, at least across the plains. You do see evidence of lights in the mountains. If you look just a little bit, more easterly, which the guard from Kratom had gone out to investigate gnolls and to deal with the pile, the corpse pile of the unsent that y'all had found. That y'all had sent on. But so there's activity in the mountains currently, not a lot of activity on the plains. And give me just a straight intelligence check for Najka.
6. Cool.
Yep. Yeah,
Too late, too much booze for intelligence.
yeah. It just strikes you as being an oddly calm evening. You do with a 22. Do see though there is an airship coming in. Standard make. Give me a history check just to see if you can figure out where it might be hailing from.
11.
Yeah. With 11, you can tell it seems to be coming in from Wildmount. This seems to be a Lucidian coast. I think is the southern coast of Wildmount.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
It seems to be this is an airship that of the kind that comes in that has come to Whitestone before, from off the Lucidian coast. They tend to be much more like they tend to be much more ship-like than other airships. Most airships tend to be blimp-like more than ship-like.
How frequent is airship travel to this island in general?
Not very. You know that there's a number of airship docks, but only one of them has an airship in it right now. That from if you
This is
at any point in
doubling the
time-
number of airships at the
yeah,
city right
this
now.
is currently doubling the number of airships landing in the city. Typically they'll just stop in for supplies, refueling if they need it. There's always you can surmise from your experience in Whitestone that there's probably a couple of spellcasters that make a living just by refilling, recharging the magical energies that are used to keep the airships aloft. These large crystal pylons that they use to keep themselves aloft. It seems like a relatively quiet night, and just the odd airship coming in.
And I've been working the kind of work that I do for so long that any new detail makes me paranoid. For instance, what if that airship that's coming in is bringing the first wave of torchbearers?
Maybe very well.
Sorry. Oh, it was for it. And every new detail that comes up, I've been working this job for so long, every new detail that comes up makes me paranoid. For instance, what if that airship that's coming in is bringing our first new wave of torchbearers?
It can be really hard to deal with all the things that might happen. The way I usually handle it is by remembering that things that have already happened have already happened. That airship is already docked. Whoever got on it already got on it. You can't change who's on the airship or whether it's here. All we can do is go south and do all the stuff we were already going to do.
Got really confused for a second because Gabriel recently got a haircut, and Griffin walked into frame with Holly, and I was confused as to how Gabriel got over to Holly's house.
I stole your child when you weren't looking.
Academically, I know that I can't really prepare for every possible threat, but it doesn't stop me from taking in new information and wondering when the second shoe's going to drop.
Exhausting to be scared of the things that might happen. Scared of the things other people might do.
I don't know if it's scared so much as trying to be prepared. It's a constant battle of, if I'm prepared enough, it makes the shitstorm that inevitably occurs more manageable. I can't prepare for every eventuality, but I can try to prepare for as many as I can be aware of.
He sort of stares towards the airship, just thinking about what you said.
Do you guys stay out there long enough to watch it dock, or just head back?
How long is long enough to watch it dock?
It's in the distance, so it'll probably be like another 30 minutes to an hour before it actually arrives. It's just visible because it's the only thing in the sky right now.
Adios to really get any work done on this thing. I'm mostly just adjusting sights and fixing bolts and fittings. I know I should get sleep, but I don't really think it's going to be restful right now. Not least of which because I'm worried about what kind of bullshit's going to end up exploding amongst our group in the morning.
Foreshadow.
Can't sleep, then who's gonna
You
get-
are optimistic.
Hey, there's a Craig. And Jack, you were that we heard you say something, but we couldn't tell what you said.
If you aren't going to get sleep, then who's going to help deal with it?
Fair point. Alright. I'm good to head back if you are.
Please, we'll head back with her.
All right. You both head back and proceed into your long rests. Craig, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm playing Grouper.
Real loud.
I swear, was that too loud?
Your microphone is so loud right now.
Your microphone is like twice as loud as everyone else's.
Oh no. Okay, I can fix that maybe.
Yeah, you go to Zoom audio settings and just reduce the input volume.
Oh my gosh. Okay. In the meantime, I'll just keep it super chill.
Yeah.
Whoa, God, it's doing a ringtone.
No,
Yes, I hear it.
That's the Roll20 music.
Okay. No, it's my Zoom.
tone. I see.
I was gonna say, if it's the Roll20 music, I have questions because Craig is not in Roll20.
Oh, that's fair, actually.
It's correct. I'm trying to be. I'm doing like 8 different things.
Have you hacked Roll20 to just go straight to our
Maybe.
headsets?
Maybe. All right. What if I do this? Is that better?
Sounds better so far.
Nope.
It sounds less echoey. I'll
That's
give
my
it that.
That's my speaker volume.
Oh,
Oh,
well,
maybe that-
you were just talking quietly then.
Yeah. Let's see. I'll just talk quietly. Hey guys, I'm
I
Craig.
don't think
I'm
that's
playing
sustainable.
Grouper.
No, it is not sustainable.
For tonight, the part of Grouper will
So-
be played by a celestial. That's right. I'll be playing an ASMR.
So if you click the little chevron next to the audio icon at the bottom of the screen and
Yes.
go audio
did.
settings,
Yes.
it'll take you to speaker and microphone. Microphone volume. Just drop that down by half. And turn off automatically adjust microphone volume.
Yes.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, that was on. Okay.
I would also like to say, just as a total aside here, having nothing to do with Craig coming in, I do appreciate that Sirenscape to Roll20 has kept one thing consistent, which is that I have the sound at 5%, and it's perfectly audible.
Yeah, same. Mine's at 10% right now, but yeah, it's
Like, I'm terrified to move it up in any capacity because my ears might explode.
why do it's because it's probably because it's balanced, like it's EQ'd for like speakers rather than headphones, which is
Correct.
stupid for Roll20 to have its audio EQ'd for speakers instead of headphones.
Depends. Like, they might have data that suggests that a lot of people who use Roll20 do it through not headphones.
Anyways,
Is that better?
yeah, much better.
Yes.
Yes.
Significantly.
Okay. All right.
All right,
Yeah.
so-
all I did was turn off automatically adjust mic volume, which might be a thing that happened last time I patched Zoom.
That's, yes, probably.
Everyone,
Thank you.
Zoom does like the reset settings
Yeah,
when it patches.
everyone, feel free to go.
Kind of
turn
like
off-
Discord.
Everyone, feel free to go turn off automatically adjust microphone volume if you haven't already. So, long rests are had. We return then to the present, where all of you are being woken up by Tenebris running as quickly as he can down a hallway, being chased by a giant octopus.
We have a psychic link up, right?
No,
No.
we do not, but we're about to.
Okay.
No.
I'm talking in octopus, but I don't think anyone speaks it.
Well, the problem is that the octopus can't talk. It just
It can.
It's just making clacking noises and shrill, weird, watery bird sounds.
Potato,
With
tomato.
dogs.
But yes, I imagine most of you throw your doors open to see this.
I am bursting out into the hallway.
Just
So
say
It seems like
Davina's,
something is attacking the Cobalt soul.
Davina's doing psychic link with everyone, by the way.
All right, yeah, connecting.
Okay, that's Grouper.
Why
Just-
is that?
All you
Grouper?
get, get from Tenebris, giant tentacles, giant tentacles, giant tentacles.
Over the psychic link is. I just want to ask you about my mom and dad.
Of course it's fucking Grouper.
Grouper is convinced that he and Tenebris had like a similar dream, and Tenebris doesn't want to talk about it, and this is how Grouper's reacting.
Is he still drunk?
Shouldn't be.
Did I? I don't think I got drunk. Did I get drunk?
No, I don't
I
think
don't
so.
think you did, but Gesby is trying to understand why you're acting this way.
That's fair.
Tenebris,
I'm
give
gonna
me
do.
Tenebris, give me a stealth check. Grouper, give me a perception check with disadvantage because you are not used to being an octopus on land.
I am fully aware that I am being petty right now, but I just woke up to this bullshit, so I'm going to do it anyways. I would like to point out there is an increasing trend of one person being unreasonable with other people in this group right now. And I feel I'm on an apology.
Just because someone else is being unreasonable doesn't mean you weren't unreasonable.
You're not wrong. I'm just grumpy because I just woke up.
Okay, but you're not getting an apology.
The octopus has stopped.
Tenebris is not.
Yeah, no, I know, but I lost sight of you anyway.
So Tenebris, you duck like into a room and into a different section of the library facilities and between the stacks and keep moving. And eventually the octopus stops. Now I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, Grouper, as an octopus.
Okay.
Please, y'all, do not wreck my group's headquarters, please.
11 is a failure. You are stunned as a blue-robed monk who just saw an octopus chasing someone through the library punched you and did a stunning strike.
Fair.
That's what you get.
And the monk in question, make a couple rolls here real quick. Hang on. How many hit points does a giant octofish have?
I'm glad the monk did something because none of us were doing anything.
Nashka was going to be doing something, but everyone else was talking at once. So.
We had to find first. That was the problem.
52. I have 52.
Okay, so you take 36 points of damage.
Okay.
In octopus form and are stunned.
Okay.
As a monk reacting to what seems to be a threat, basically just pops up from behind one of the stacks and lays 4 quick shots into you, and you just feel the octopus form just seize momentarily.
Fair. I think over the psychic link in response to Davina, I guess after
anything you start to say is cut off as you mentally bite your tongue from being stunned functionally.
Yeah, no, that's what I was going to say. It's like, okay, when you put it that way, it's kind of, ow!
Uh-oh. I know that, ow.
The good goblins are just standing in the hallway watching.
As a reminder,
Same.
Najka's armor can now, because it's been modified, be donned and doffed as like a single. It's either a bonus action or just a single action.
Action, yeah.
So she has already, like, having been woken up, stepped into the armor and is now stepping out into the hallway to try and figure out what the fuck is going on.
Gatsby waves.
And did you tell where Tenebris is gone?
No, because he would have been well past you before he ducked away.
Notably, Tenebris books it to what he thinks is some far corner of the library, and once the adrenaline wears out, passes back out amongst the stacks of books.
I'll go talk to see if somebody is going to know where they are. I'm just going to go try and find the first staff member that I can find.
Craig, you take 2 additional hit points worth of damage over the maximum of the octopus, as Elefir, the first staff member that you and Najka, because you're both sort of moving out at the same time, find is a Blue Road monk that has just punched an octopus into a grouper.
That.
And Grouper, I will point out, given the way that octopus do, Grouper is almost certainly like face down, ass up, legs spread out behind him.
Yep.
Who's very confused by the fact that this octopus just became a different fish.
Am I still stunned?
How long does stunning strike last? Hang on, because he didn't.
Until the end of the target, until the end of the monk's next turn.
Correct.
Yeah. So you're no.
Yeah.
So you're no longer stunned now.
Unless he stunned me again.
No, because he figured he would be knocking the octopus out, not turning it into a different fish.
Right.
Okay.
We're good.
I'm sorry. I didn't think this through. I'm sorry.
Looks over at you. This is one of yours.
Yes. There was a misunderstanding. There was a current party member Shut up!
Oh.
There was a misunderstanding between two members of my party thing. I'm sure you know how that can go.
It usually ends up with an octopus, apparently.
The monk will look
They
down.
will behave going forward.
I don't know if this group's track record has anything to say about it. It's
Gatsby.
I'm gonna have
Not
this.
helping.
Shut up!
Gatsby's just standing there giggling.
Grouper kind of turns and looks at Gatsby and says, "Were you talking about all of us, or is Group a new nickname for me? Because I don't appreciate the implication, but kind of dig it as a nickname."
I'm down with that as a nickname.
The monk folds his hands together and looks down at Grouper. Apologies, but also, please don't rampage through the library as a giant octopus.
No, that was totally on me. I'm sorry.
I will make sure of it.
You can make an insight check if you want. Anyone wants to.
Yep.
Davina's walked off and is looking for Tenebris right now.
Investigation check for Davina.
My dice are on to a great start.
Yeah, me too. 11.
Right.
With an 18, the good goblins can tell this monk has reached that level of confusion where they've stopped trying to interpret what's going on and just walk away.
That's really fair. That's super fair.
With a 7 investigation,
Good luck, I'll do that a
Davina,
lot.
you can still feel the connection, so you know they're nearby relatively, but you're not finding Tenebris anywhere right now.
Okay, she's just gonna wander in a circle.
You could ask Tenebris where he is.
Oh yes, right. I have
You
a
are
psychic link. Sorry. Yeah, over the link, she will say Tenebris.
You are woken up by this Tenebris because it's in your brain.
Tenebris starts awake again for the second time this morning.
Tenebris,
Huh? What?
where are you? And are you okay?
Tenebris looks around. Not entirely sure where he is in the library.
You are currently in the archive. You are currently in the corner of the library where they store archival almanacs for Southern Taldori.
Well, I'm still in the library. There's almanacs. I don't know if that's helpful.
Is that helpful?
Not really.
Just list 5 of the books you can see and make the librarian find them.
Oh no, that's a good idea. Yeah,
Uh,
tell me some of the books near you.
Reads off a couple of.
Currently, it's just like you've got like Byroden almanacs from the past, like the first
10
few
years, yeah.
the first few you get are like a Byroden almanac from like 5 years ago, and then another one from 6 years ago, and another one from 7 years ago, and like all the way down to 10 years ago.
Yeah, and Davina will ask a librarian.
Yeah.
Tell me where these are at.
Can you tell me where the Byroden almanacs are? Odd request. All right. Yeah. No. You can get guided there by a staff member who.
Right.
And yeah, sitting in the corner, looking at a series of almanacs for the southern end of Taldori. There is Tenebris.
Kind of looks at an almanac, kind of nods off slightly, and then looks at another almanac. Starts nodding off again.
Davina puts a hand on your shoulder. Do you need to go back and rest?
More sleep sounds good. Starts nodding off again.
All right, now come. How big is Tenebris?
He's tiny.
Yeah,
Small.
so I'm wondering if she can just throw him over her shoulder.
Make an athletics check.
Oh, I don't have athletics.
No.
Oh, that was a 19 though.
Tenebris is very light.
I would argue Tenebris is only 30 pounds. That's well within like anybody's carrying
Yeah.
capacity.
Only 30
Yeah.
pounds, yes, but also there are reasons why Davina might not be able to carry you right now.
But can I pick him up
Yes,
with
19
19?
you can.
Okay. Yeah, she will kind of throw him on her shoulder. All right, come on.
I'm gonna reach out to help Grouper to his feet.
Grouper will sort of pause and look at the hand, and then kind of sigh out through the gills and reach up, and take the hand, let you help him up.
You all right?
That was. I just feel kind of dumb.
The fact that you feel that means you understand what went wrong, so I'm not going to bother you about it.
I've been working with Caravalla on shifting, and one of the things we've been working on is having it be, an instinct where you try to get to know the shapes that you can become, and you get to know their capacity, and then if you fall, you change into something that's going to land better, or if you're trying to grab something, you change into something with more arms, and it just. Honestly, I felt is addressing most of this to Najka. Is that honestly, I was kind of feeling pretty good about it. I felt like I was getting really good, and I just didn't think about that. Is Tenebris okay?
Probably that they seem to be fine.
I'm sure they're fine.
The choice of shape was probably, in your immediate assessment, pretty accurate. The other instinct
is what was wrong.
The other
grab him.
The other thing to consider is environment in which the shape is being taken.
No, I mean, you'd be surprised. I mean, I can get around pretty good on the docks for a while. They can climb up pretty good, which is not something you want to know about the big ones that like to eat noses.
I'm not talking about the practicality of the movement. I'm talking about what surrounds you.
No, I know. I was trying to do that thing where I say a lot of facts and it kind of distracts everybody about what's going on, but yeah.
Points for effort.
In any event, you seem
to have
gotten the point.
Everybody up.
All right, I needed to wake up soon anyway.
Same.
We Tenebris and I might be having the same dream. I probably need to talk to him more after he gets a little more rest, but
maybe approach it a little calmer next time.
Yeah, more talk, less rampage.
At what point does Davina walk by with Tenebris on her shoulder?
No.
About nowish.
I cut you while you're eating.
No, but
So
that
sorry.
made sense because good hand signing.
Yeah.
That mean about now? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Is Tenebris awake or asleep again?
Tenebris is asleep again. So it's Davina
like a
with an unconscious Tenebris.
It's like a little kitty on my shoulder.
You okay?
Full on Saturday morning cartoon. Big snore and then me. Big snore.
Yep.
Me.
Is he okay?
Is he okay?
He's tired. He
I'm
needs
real
rest.
I'm real sorry. I messed up. I'm real sorry.
Davina gives Grouper a look, and it is just. It is one of those I am disappointed in you looks.
Oh no.
Give me intimidation.
And she will just say, "We'll talk about it later,"
Give me intimidation.
kind of-
and walk past.
Grouper slumps a little bit, but then goes, I think he saw my parents.
Sorry, what, son?
Intimidation check.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
Oh no.
That's how much of a disappointed parent look she gave you, Craig.
All right. Is that an okay track with the fact that he just blurts out, I think he saw my parents?
Look, that makes sense to me.
I gotta justify it.
Yeah.
You don't be that disappointed in me, Mom.
Yeah.
She doesn't say anything and just walks off with Tenebris.
I get it.
Byron, who's finally caught up. Why do you think you saw your parents?
Whatever's done this to Tenebris, whatever this is, I think I think it either also did it to my parents or it has my parents. Something somewhere. I don't know.
Why don't you back up and explain everything to us so we have an idea where you're coming from? Because right now you sound a little bit insane.
With a little bit more of the context, I get.
it.
Yeah.
I just. How many times have I had the dream? Is it just twice now?
Yeah, twice now. And it hasn't been the same dream, strictly speaking. It's been slightly different, but yeah.
But
Okay.
the same sort of environment, yeah.
Well, somebody else do something while I clean up this spill. Hold on one sec. Hold on, guys. Shade water doesn't work in real life.
What is it? Davina, you take Tenebris back and put him back in the room.
Mm-hmm. She'll go back to the others afterwards. She will put him back in bed and shut the door quietly.
He continues to get the rest of his long rest. Get back to the others. Grouper is desperately trying to clean up a spill that happened.
I'm good. I can talk. I'll just be out of camera.
That's fine.
This plant mini is very beer soaked right now. So Gruber says, okay, so
y'all know that my parents have been away for a while. And I just haven't heard anything. They've been busy, but ever since Tenebris got back, there's been something funny with him. Like something stuck with him ever since his ship went down.
Lungs are permanently filled with water, so there is something about that, yes.
Last couple of months, I've been having dreams that I've been seeing this shape coming out of something underwater with tentacles. And I get it. I'm saying it out loud. I know the octopus was stupid. I didn't think about it, but one of them was holding something that looked like something little that looked kind of like Tenebris. And was it blue?
Yeah, it was blue.
And the other two forms were purple.
They have a distinct color. I don't know.
I think they were a slightly different color. I think.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm misremembering that.
We'll go with purple for now. They were a different color, but they were distinct from the blue. I think the blue was the only one that was like a distinct color, but yeah.
Okay. So the one form it looked I think it was Tenebris and it was glowing blue, but there was another there were two more tentacles. I mean there were a lot of tentacles, but there were two more of them and they were holding here was my parents. And last night or this morning we woke up and I think Tenebris was having the same dream. And I needed to know what maybe Tenebris isn't ready to talk, but I need to know.
There's that, but also I get where you're coming from, but whether Tenebris is ready to talk, normally they're definitely not going to be ready to talk when you wake them up in the middle of the morning with that kind of panicked questioning. I get that you're concerned, and I get that you want to try and find out as much as you can, as quick as you can. Tenebris has been through the ringer. Their lungs, again, are permanently filled with water. Let them get some rest, and let them be properly awake before you start putting 20 questions to them.
Mm-hmm.
Cooper pauses like he's about to say something and then just goes, Yeah. Yeah.
I would like to insight check that
Roll.
and fail, I'm sure. You know what? I will take.
Are you trying to hide something behind that? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
So your passive that does beat your passive deception. So
If it's passive, yeah, that beats it. If it's an
with
active
passive.
deception.
We're gonna go with passive for this one.
Okay, yeah. Gruber doesn't really agree. Like he there's or he feels like something else is actually more important, but he's not expressing it.
I don't say anything at this moment. Look, let's. What time is it right now?
Like an hour before dawn.
Let's. Those of us who want to get more sleep, let's go back to sleep. Those of us who are up. Hey, look, we're up. We've got a little bit of time before we need to gather back together.
Need fucking money. Damn it.
We can work on that. Just everybody take an hour or two. Please don't. Please do not wreck my faction's headquarters. Please. Or don't try, because then they're gonna beat the shit out of you, and then I have to smooth it over again.
Yeah, that was. I mean, don't get me wrong. Again, I definitely messed up, but that was pretty badass.
The Cobalt Soul's renowned
Don't
as being
don't
good at
fuck
what they
with
do.
the order. Yeah.
To be fair, he did have to use like 2 instances of flurry of blows to take you down, but
Grouper doesn't know. Grouper just knows a guy beat the shit out of a giant octopus like a
Yep.
pinata. Grouper just looks up and goes, "Wow, I bet you guys don't have much trouble with late fees."
Gatsby laughs.
you actually
I'm
Elefir, you actually have no idea if they have any trouble with late fees because that's not your department.
Nope, but I assume not. Because honestly, like most of, it's not that kind of a library.
A, it's not that kind of library, but B, just imagine like there's a knock on your door and you open up and there's just a blue robed monk there. It's like, your library book is 7 days overdue.
They just stunning strike you and take your wallet and collect the late fee themselves.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna wait outside.
yeah.
Rampages the giant octopus through the city instead.
Anyway,
All right, so
Grouper is gonna go wait outside.
Cooper goes waiting outside. Some of you.
I'll wait until everybody goes their separate ways, and then I'm going outside.
Okay. Which direction is Najee going?
Gonna see if she can get any last minute work and/or sales done of gear and such, so that she can at least have a little bit more change to work with on the road.
Do you have any gear to sell?
Technically, I still have this light crossbow and crossbow bolts to sell.
All right. Yeah, you can sell this for half price for whatever the book price is. Good goblins. We all done.
They're gonna head back in the room and do a once over on the Armaton. Make sure everything's like an airplane inspection.
Give me a perception check for peas specifically.
I'll use an inspiration on that.
All right. 16. While going over the systems, there's a little one of the various screens on the inside of the automaton that have been sort of like rerouted to be where y'all can like these screens aren't where they were originally. They've been rerouted so that y'all could have access to the information that normally one human would have. But one of the smaller screens down where Peas sits just has a little error message showing up. It's like a little triangle, little yellow triangle or a little green triangle with an exclamation mark in it, and it is saying something in primordial.
Oh, I have learned that language.
Okay, so yeah, in primordial, it in Aquan specifically, it is saying actually no, not Aquan. This would be this because where this from Kymel. This would be oh god, what's the Earth Ganassi version of
Terran?
Terran, yes.
Terran.
In Terran.
Terran.
This it says anomalous energies detected. Scanning environment.
Is it
There's a timestamp.
Yeah.
There's a timestamp, and based on what you've been able to reverse engineer out of the timestamp, it would have been happening. It seems like this error popped up just before Grouper went on his octopus rampage.
He's just gonna file that away for now.
You had a question.
Is it usually in Terran when it pops up messages?
Yeah. This the Aeroton on the inside, y'all have been able to get it to work with common externally, but all the internal screens read off in Terran. So that's what the goblins are doing. Grouper's outside. Elvira's going to Grouper. Tenebris is sleeping. Davina, what are you doing?
I'm debating. When did Ella go outside?
Once everybody sort of split off,
Okay. Then
she
Davina
did not
would-
want to have to deal with people with people getting concerned over the two of them in the same place.
Davina was going to go outside. It's just like if she saw Ella, she might not because she was going to let them have time. But Davina will go outside then.
So Davina goes outside ahead of you, Elifir. Does that change your plan?
There's lots of outside.
No, it just changes how sneaky I am about it.
Fair. Craig.
I am not above spying on friends.
Craig, where outside of the facility are you waiting?
What's the exterior of the building made of? Is it stone?
Yeah,
Is
it's like a stone cathedral. Like
Okay.
Marble, I would say marble.
How high up are is there like a shaded part of the eaves?
Let me verify what you're saying. Hang on.
Oh, just like with the roof, does it come over one of the walls at this time of day on the part of the building on the far side from the sun, so on the western side of the building?
Mm-hmm.
If the roof overhangs, there should be a sizable amount of the wall that's in shade at that point.
Yes, there is.
Okay. Grouper is up under the eaves as a tree frog.
All right. So, Davina, you head outside. What are you looking to do?
Grouper.
You looking for
Psychic
Grouper?
link is up right now.
No, okay. Give me a perception check while you're asking mentally. But also, all of you are hearing it because it's a group call.
She'll drop it in a minute as soon as if she sees him.
With a 9, you do not see a small tree frog up in the roof.
Nobody ever looks up.
You
Fucking
do
clowns.
see Elifira walking out behind you, trying to not be seen, though.
You hear over the psychic
Hey.
link. I mean, you get an immediate response over the psychic link. He's not hiding.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he doesn't think he's hiding. I'll put it that way.
Fine, I can play this.
I'm here.
Where?
up above you, and you hear a
And
There's a
so the issue is less about,
non-regional tree frog.
yeah, the issue is less about knowing where a grouper is at, and more about trying to find a small tree frog in a shaded area. You cannot see where
I
he's
think
at.
probably not super hard because it's like a bright floral green against the stone.
Homework.
That's fair. We'll say it takes you a few more seconds, but yeah, you eventually see the frog.
Okay. Drop psychic link. Pick it up with just Grouper and Ella because she sees Ella.
Yeah.
In the meantime, Tinnerverse is woken up again by the psychic link, just confused as hell. Why is there croaking?
You can go back to sleep.
Amazing.
One day she's gonna talk for herself.
I love all the weird inter-party complications having this team-wide PA system causes.
We gotta learn how to put on Do Not Disturb.
That's a ring of mind shielding.
Okay. Grouper, do you want to come down here?
I can if that's easier.
It is easier than trying
Easier.
to squint and find a tiny. You're smaller than Tenebris right now.
He will jump down onto Davina's head,
A frog
and
falls
then
on
we'll
your
jump.
Hello.
And then we'll jump from there. And as he jumps off, he turns back into Grouper as he's coming down to the ground.
head. Well, that's both wild chips for the day gone.
I just need a nap.
How are you doing?
Well, I feel real dumb about the whole octopus thing.
Oh, this
But,
is psychic link. You can
Oh, okay.
you can talk. Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot. Well, I feel very stupid about the whole octopus fiasco. But mainly, I don't want to upset Tenebris or hurt him, but if he saw my parents, I need to know.
Get it.
I understand that.
I know I've been saying that they're coming back. But I'm not an idiot. I just didn't want anyone to think that I'd given up hope, but if he saw them, if he knows where they are, even if it's too late, I need to know. And I understand we have the torchbearers. There are other things, and those come first. But if whatever's going on with Tenebris is tied up in this, or if he can just give me an answer.
We can talk to him together after
Yeah.
he wakes up, okay?
He
It might be
ran
easier.
away.
Grouper.
He was... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I'm not saying this in a way to be denigrating or aggravate anything when there's something that you really have your mind on. You can perhaps not be the calmest as of late.
His eyes are just sort of, as Ella is speaking, his eyes are just sort of slowly narrowing, which is not remotely subtle because they are tennis ball
Right.
size on the side of his head.
I'm not. This has nothing to do with us. I'm saying Tenebris is not somebody who normally runs screaming away from us. So I'm trying to apply the logic here. You might not have thought you were being intimidating or whatever, but
I know I shouldn't have turned into an octopus, but Tenebris ran before I did. Tenebris ran because of the question.
Also, he just woke up and he was a little surprised by it, I think. Now that he knows what's going on, if we approach him together, it might be better. And if he's not ready to talk, there's probably a reason.
I know.
I'll be honest. If your parents are involved, I think he does owe some answers. I am with you on that.
He might need a little bit of time. I'm not talking a long time, but maybe give him the morning or something.
No, I know, but just us. 3 of us.
That's a different campaign.
Elefira, you said Tenebris doesn't do this sort of thing, and the Tenebris we knew didn't.
Yeah, that is a valid point. A lot has changed, obviously. How about, here's an idea. What if one of us, pointing to me and me or Jesus Christ.
Davina.
Thank you. It was right there in my head and I couldn't get it out. Me and Davina. What if one of us talked to him about it?
That's probably better. What if we waited an hour and I took a nap and turned into a little beetle on your shoulder? No, but that's, yes, you're right. That's, and there's a little pause, and he looks at Elefir and says, that's good team thinking. Like teammates.
Sure. All right. So I'm going to go in and, well, I'm not going to sleep at this point, but I'm going to go in and do something for the next hour or so, or whenever we all get back together. Need anything, just yell.
I appreciate that Grouper's internal voice has morphed from Zap Brannigan to Brian Blessed.
So is my face, so I'm desperately in need of a haircut and a beard trim, but yeah.
I'm gonna go rest a little and I will be there when he wakes up, okay?
Having been woken up again, Tenebris isn't it bad.
What?
Because you woke him up again, he doesn't go back to sleep. Instead, he starts going and looking through books. Specifically trying to find a book on Corlin Mickley, I think is how that's pronounced.
Corlin McLean. Yeah, well, we will come back to that investigation check after our break. So those of you that are watching live, please stay tuned for these commercial messages. Remember, when we take our break, you take yours. So stand up, stretch your legs, move around, do whatever you need to do, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. we're back. A dinosaur story. So, Tenebris. You are searching the archives for any reference to Coraline McLean. Go ahead and make an investigation check with advantage because you're in a library. So 19. With 19, so you can find the literal translation of it in Aquan, which you already vaguely understood, but just like looking up what the words mean individually, it means it is in Aquan. It is the sort of like proper noun version of the words the Great Coral. There's no indication as to what it is, though. Like, there's no legends or lore that you're able to find, or documentation that you're able to find, at least within this Cobalt Soul archive, as to what that is. Seemed like
Now,
a proper
which
name.
version of great are we talking?
Great as in big.
Okay, there's big, there's powerful, there's
Yeah, no,
of high quality.
great as in big. Yeah, like you're able to find a literal translation of the words and not much else. On an 18.
Going off that, Tenebris will look up any legends revolving around reefs.
Another investigation check with advantage. With 15, there's a number of them. Mostly it's sort of like fae stories, stories of fae creatures living in wreaths, living in coral reefs and in other sorts of close adjacent to land river water structures that give boons, give banes, give blessings, give curses. Various ways that they've been dealt with over the years or not dealt with, and theoretically might still be out there cursing or blessing people. There's one in Wildmount that reportedly throws weapons at people that pass by their lake. Sometimes they throw them hilt first, which is seen as a blessing, and sometimes they throw them point first, which is seen as a curse. But
If they throw the right sword at you, you might become king.
No. If they throw the right sword at you, you might get a nice sword. If they throw the wrong sword at you, you might just die. No one has been able to confront them yet as to ascertain why they are throwing weapons at people, and it's not always just swords. One particularly well-known adventurer received a pike from her. Received a pike that was thrown by her. Managed to avoid getting impaled by it, found out it was actually a pretty good pike, and went on to make quite a name for himself as a mercenary. That kind of thing.
Catch this Bardiche.
Grand women lying in ponds distributing swords. No way to run a government.
She doesn't seem to be trying to. She seems to be trying to murder anybody that passes by her lake.
Sometimes badly.
Look, sometimes you get your distance wrong, and the sword's just the wrong end forward.
Yep. But yeah, that's as much as you're able to find as far as like there are lots of different legends about wreaths, but nothing that seems to match with the image that you saw, nor the grand implication of the name.
And none that are particularly tentacly prone to dragging people under.
I mean, there's not tentacly. No, there's absolutely a bunch of drowners that hang out in various reefs that will grab you if you get too close to the water and take you down.
Those are usually like fish people.
Yeah, much more scaly and like clawed than tentacly.
It's usually a legend that just covers up the fact that there's a Sahagin tribe that lives there and people keep disturbing them and thus dying.
But yeah, Tenebris just spends a good while just looking at books again.
Yep, that's right. You all take an hour to sell some stuff, do some maintenance, read some books, let someone sleep that isn't actually sleeping. Do you all meet back up?
Eventually, I'm assuming.
Yep. How's everyone feeling?
Is Tenebris there with us now?
Unless Tenebris is actively trying to avoid being wrangled by the party, yes.
It's like Tenebris is just amongst the books. If someone finds him and brings him along, sure.
Then yes, Tenebris is there.
Tenebris, I'm real sorry about this morning.
I don't want to dismiss whatever trauma may have come from being chased by a giant octopus first thing in the morning. But I do want to get to the jungle sometime this year.
Agreed.
So if we could do our apologies on the road, perhaps.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Trev, if you said anything as Tenebris, I saw your mouth move, but I didn't hear anything.
I was getting ready to say something and like trying to think of what to say.
Oh, okay.
And
All right.
So I didn't quite get there.
Okay. Gruber just says, yeah, I mean, we can talk on the road. Or not. I feel like you get to pick.
I mean, we can talk. It's not like I'm going to cast silence on us or something.
Yeah, you'd have to be a turtle. Yeah, I mean,
I don't think I can cast silence. Anyways. I'm not entirely sure what I can or can't do.
That's what the cone of silence
we
is
need to
for.
do anything else in town then before we head out, or
I don't think so.
I think what about as ready as we're going to be?
Worm, upon seeing everyone pretty confident that they're done with whatever they need to do, barks once and then begins to lead the way out of town because he knows what to do at this point.
Are the good goblins in Martin Victoria at this point?
Yeah, I think they'll climb in.
okay. Is it okay if I ride in the tank on the back again?
Go for it.
Gruber climbs up, splashes in, Master Blasters his way out of town.
All right, let's hit the road.
Just as you're leaving, the guards on the wall are confused as they just hear a small fish going, "Who ran Barter Town?"
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
In Batter Town, and you said there was no free takoyaki.
There is no such thing as free takoyaki. Anyways, yeah, you guys head out. Get on the road. It's gonna be 2 days to the North Wall. From Creedom. Had you decided, just so that I know what's going on, had you decided whether or not you were going to warn the people at the North Wall about potential infiltration by
I think we were planning on doing that after we
Not
checked
until-
on
yeah.
the situation that already led.
Assuming that we didn't get reason not to.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Did we did we warn people in Creedom about the Knolls? It's been a while.
Yes.
Yes.
The Knolls have
Okay.
been informed in Creedom.
Hills,
Okay.
yes.
And about the torchbearers, didn't we?
Okay, cool.
No.
Well, the Cobalt Soul in Creedom.
We warned the Cobalt Soul, yes.
But the Cobalt Soul was kind of already warned because it turns out
Right.
you've been working with them the whole time.
Alright.
Working with them the whole time.
Wait a minute. Nope, that's not the right reaction. Sorry.
Yeah. So 2 days on the road.
Yep.
Converse away, or say skip, please.
Well,
Just mashing A till we get to the next fight.
Sounds like skip,
talk
please,
to
unless someone has a
Tenebris?
specific.
I mean, yeah. The only thing I think we have is potential apologies.
Hmm.
and asking what happened in the dream.
And yes, and that conversation.
Grouper said sorry in town.
Okay.
Is otherwise feeling like he has said enough today thus far, so is just kind of chilling and letting other people talk.
Fair enough. I think I'll check with Davina at some point. Do you want to talk to, or do you want me to?
I can try it if you want.
That's fine. Whichever you're more comfortable with.
I mean, I can just do the mind thing and then.
That'll actually
Yeah.
probably be better.
Okay.
So it doesn't feel like, oh look, two people are now heading off and off to the side, and it's really obvious and everything. So yeah, if you want to, that's fine.
Yeah. Okay. She'll do that then with Tenebris.
Tenebris, a voice echoes in your mind, saying,
Hi.
Tenebris looks confused for a moment, then
It's
realizes what's
Davina.
happening. Oh, it's like, oh, hi, Davina. What's up?
I should be the only one that pops into your mind. Grouper. I'm about to call you Craig. Sorry, Grouper. Does need to talk to you at some point about the dream. But we don't want to push you before you're ready.
I'm not sure how much I can talk about it. Like, if we had the same dream, then he has the same information that I have.
I think he just wants to talk to you about it because you may have some details that he didn't get. And it's about his parents, so it's very important for him.
Fair. Just,
But whenever
Jump.
you're ready.
yeah, just jumping on someone that just woke up from a weird dream. Not exactly an ideal time.
Yeah, that's what I had figured. And he absolutely should have not turned into a giant octopus.
Yeah, weird choice. Like, oh, giant. Like, there was tentacles in the dream. How did he think that would turn out?
Maybe it was the first thing he thought of.
you're missing the critical part of how, not thinking was the...
Yeah, it's his parents are very important to him, and it has to do with his parents, and so he was just desperately trying to find out any information. He did not go about it the correct way, but his heart was in the right place.
No, it wasn't. He was turned into an octopus. It was in a very wrong place.
And there were too many of them.
Yeah.
I mean, it was in the right place regardless for the form that he had.
Is it okay for me to tell him that it's all right for him to talk to you about it at some point?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right. I'll let him know.
Love you,
Psychic
bye.
link down.
Click.
Yeah, bye. Talk to you later. Have a good life. Psychic link down. Psychic link picked up with Grouper. I'm trying to call you Craig. I'm sorry.
Here at the Davina
Gosh, my head's
here
not
at the
here.
here at the Davina psychic dashboard.
Okay, Tenebris is okay to talk to you about it whenever you want to approach him, okay?
Okay.
No, no.
No
Okay.
turning into other animals.
I wasn't going to.
Okay, well, after this morning, I'm just
I-
making sure.
To be fair, I could, but I'm not going to.
And avoid things with tentacle. Like I think it's the tentacles that really freaked him out. Coming off of the dream.
I definitely see that in hindsight.
Okay, just be nice.
Hindsight is 40/40.
Above the table. It's funny because Cinnaburst doesn't actually have a problem with octopi. He just has an animosity towards sea turtles.
So Grouper will. Where is Tenebris? You know, Grouper will just sort of flop out of the
Splash out.
the backpack, and I think probably put Flop in for a turn, and pad over to walk beside Tenebris.
A
Hey there,
dripping
Grouper.
fish approaches.
Hey, sorry again. Really gave me a talking to, so I just anyway. I'm sorry, that was dumb. But she said it was okay to talk. Is that all right?
Yeah.
I feel like I saw you. Did you see me in the dream?
No, you didn't.
No.
Did you see two other things in the dream? Two other people.
Now I'm blanking on the description of the dream.
So you had the exact same perspective, if I recall correctly, of a massive tentacled figure erupting out of what seemed to be like a cityscape underwater. And in one tentacled limb, it held a small blue-robed figure. And in another tentacled limb, it held two small fish-like creatures. But you weren't able to discern any details other than that. And
Well,
there was also the big eye in the middle, and then the name Corlin McLean.
well, I saw three figures. Two of them were kind of fishy. And I suppose, from what Davina said, it is possible that they could have been your parents.
Had you ever seen anything like this before, or was that dream the first time?
Tenebris has had dreams. I don't, but I don't
You've
know.
had dreams.
specifically,
You've
so-
had dreams of this giant tentacled figure before. Not that specific version of the dream, but you have had dreams of that figure before.
I've had dreams of the tentacle figure, but that's about the extent of it.
Dreams of the tentacle father.
Do you have any idea, other than the spires that we saw, do you have any idea where it might have been? Or maybe if you were there at some point, or anything like that?
Does Tenebris have any idea of the scale of time between when he went off the ship and he ended up on the island?
Nope.
Working backwards, Tenebris would know how long he was on the island and when he got saved from the island.
Yeah.
So he would know when he got to the island itself.
Yeah, you know when you get the island yourself, and you don't know how long. It's impossible to tell how long. Like you haven't you know how long it was since you had been in the last port to being on the island, but no idea how much of that time was spent between the shipwreck and the island. Because your last your last estimate of time would have been leaving port.
Like that'd be what Tenebris describes as like, I wound up on the island on this date, roughly. But beyond that, the ship was left X port on this date and was supposed to end up in whatever other ports a few weeks later. But I don't know where along the trip that I ended up in the water.
Okay. If you ever remember anything else, I promise not to go all grabby on you. But if you have another dream or you remember anything, can you let me know?
I think I can do that.
Thanks. If we can help you out, me or, any of us, we want to. And I know it's selfish of me to ask for this reason, but it'd be good to know what happened to them. So if that was then. Anyway, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
And Rupert will just sort of pad along in, I would say, companionable silence. Is probably pretty awkward silence for a while next to Tenebris.
After a while, Tenebris will break that silence and ask, or say, I tried looking in the library for, I'm blanking on the city's name again.
Orlin McLee.
Corlin Mickley, yeah. And I found a translation of it that from Auckland to Common it means Great Reef, but that's about the extent.
Yeah. My parents always used to just call it the Spires. But yeah, I guess that's the main name. Nobody knows where it is though. I think that's what they've been looking for.
Well, if the dream's anything to go by, they might have found it. Which that would be something, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Finding this mythical city.
It just sounds like maybe something else was already there.
Was that Shani?
I was just being dramatic. I was like, or it might have found them.
Turns out Corlin Mickley's on the back of a giant dragon turtle.
On the back of a giant Cthulhu. Right.
Oh, it's fine. It's just a Cthulhu.
Why would you build a city here?
Because if you build it on a Cthulhu's back, the Cthulhu is unlikely to realize you're there, and you're safer than if you're on the ground.
Also, have you seen the real estate taxes in Whitestone?
I mean,
you know what? Fair. All right. Anything else? Right. One day passes. The plane, you don't need to really roll for encounters in this particular case because you're going downhill, which gives you a unsurpassed view of the plains. Basically, if anything, nothing can sneak up on you unless you are all being extremely oblivious, and you have an automaton that can keep 360-degree watch at night. So,
Do not underestimate our die rolling. Overestimate.
So, Johnny, you get 2 more days worth of work in.
I don't have enough materials for 2 more days worth of work. That's my problem.
Well, there you go. Before you all arrive at the North Wall. It doesn't seem to have changed all that much from the last time you were all here. This chasm-spanning bridge fortress, sturdily constructed with guards visible at from all points of observation. It's oddly nostalgic. Your Skrios had changed a bit. Things have been updated, buildings have been painted over. New buildings have been constructed. But looking at the North Wall, it's uncanny how almost identical. Very clearly, it has aged 5 years. Like there's signs of wear and tear and age. 5 years of wear, but even with that, it's sort of an odd nostalgia kick as you all approach the wall.
Smile and nod as we approach.
Yep.
Everything's totally normal.
You are allowed through. None of you are children, and you all are recognized, having already been given access to the Tornian jungle when you were younger. They know that you know what's in there. All of you except for the good goblins, but the good goblins in their suit are with the rest of you, so easily waved through.
Yeah.
Do you stop to rest at the North Wall before you head into the jungle, or just head straight in?
What time of day is it when we reach the North Wall?
Probably midday, like noon.
I think we'll make better progress if we just start going and try and find a secure place. There's
Agreed.
apparently secure facilities all over the island that we might be able to find entrances to, depending on where we end up by the time night falls.
All right. Now, I need marching orders as you exit into the Twarnian jungle. Who's taking the lead?
The goblins are happy to take the lead.
Because either in the lead or in the rear, depending on who's taking the front.
Good goblins do the same thing.
Grouper's very observant, and so could be playing Watchtower on the back of Martin Victoria.
That's awesome.
All right, so
Martin Victoria probably leading the way with Najka, keeping up the back in case anything comes up behind us.
okay. How people are arranged within that column.
Probably second.
So,
In case we need to for trap disabling shit like that.
So Martin Victoria with Gerber on top, Elefera right behind. Who's behind Elefera?
Davina will be behind Ella.
So Davina, and then Tenebris, and then Najka, with Worm up by the good goblins and Fyron back by Najka.
Yep.
Tenebris is going to see if they can ride on either Fyron's or Najka's shoulder. So they can
Fyron.
actually see over the plants.
I mean, Fyron.
Absolutely.
Fyron is absolutely not opposed to providing a shoulder. Najka's shoulder is a bit hotter than Fyron's, so you may prefer one to the other. All right, go ahead and since they're in the lead, good goblins and grouper, give me survival checks.
Ah, yes, our best skill.
That's our jungle navigation skill.
Yep, that's what. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
19 and a 24. And then everyone else can give me perception checks. As you're keeping an eye out while they are in the lead.
Nothing below a 15.
Nice. Very good. You're all on high alert.
Tenebris especially got that neck on a swivel.
It's why I got on somebody's shoulders.
Hey.
Tenebris just meerkatting on someone's shoulder.
Just a meerkat on Fire's shoulder, just looking around.
So
Group of Tenebris on watch. We just air 5 each other.
navigating around through the forest, all of you with your heads on swivels. The forest is dense. You are very much off the path as you are heading towards Ardiglace, trying to get towards the river and then following it. And it is slow going. As a group, you are moving at half speed functionally through the forest, or through the jungle, because once you get off the well-worn path that follows the cleft from one wall to the other, it's just dense jungle, thicket, and bush and tree. So,
Have a ranger with us.
yeah, you do not have a ranger with you.
Or Victoria has that sickle to cut a path with.
With a natural 20 on the perception check, Tenebris, you are the first one to notice that there is a odd amount of activity in the forest as you're moving through. The forest is alive. There's quite a large population of animals and beasts maneuvering through. So you are very distinctly aware when all of a sudden a lot of the animals that were nearby dispersed very rapidly. Hold on one second. I need to look at this real quick, making sure it's the right thing. Okay, dispersed very rapidly as you started to feel, and you start to hear, and everyone else starts to feel the ground shaking. As something very large is moving through the jungle in your direction. Not necessarily aware of whether or not it is coming to you because you're there or because that was just the path that it was taking. But very quickly you are all aware of the fact that something massive is heading your way.
Eyes up, incoming.
Can we adjust our course to move out of its path?
With the survival checks that have been gone, you can. Yes, you can.
Let's do that.
All right. We're gonna need stealth checks as you are all trying to get out of the way and stay unseen.
Yes.
All right, the official question. Can I roll more than a 2 on my d20 for stealth? All right, there we go.
So can I hold on?
If anyone has any spells they'd like to cast to assist with,
Yeah, that's what I'm looking up. I'm just checking casting time because I actually haven't done this in 5e myself. So Grouper says, "Oh, hey, come here, real quick." And we'll sort of pop down into the water in the back, just the eyes up over the top, and then there is sort of like a shimmer, almost like heat haze over water that makes, or over hard surfaces that makes them look like water that sort of falls over everybody. I'm going to cast Pass Without a Trace on this.
All right, so everyone
Pass
gets
without
to add 10 to your stealth checks.
So 35.
25.
Do I make an independent roll considering I am on Martin Victoria?
Yes, because stealth is more than just moving quietly. It's also not making noise.
I'm
You are
underwater. Does that help?
It doesn't, because you're in a body of water, which splashes at the slightest of movements. So your stealth check is
Fair.
holding still.
So a 22 with
Okay.
the bonus.
Yeah, you're trying to not splash to draw attention, basically.
Entirely unhelpful. I could make myself invisible,
Mhm.
but then there's also just a string of awkward profanities.
But yeah, so plus 10 to all your rolls. So it's 23 from Tenebris, 22 from Grouper, 25 for Najka, 21 for Davina, 35 for Elefira, 34 for the Good Goblins. Let me roll for Worm and Fyron. $18 for Worm.
Oh, I should roll for flop. Because I don't
And
think
with-
Victoria can carry us both.
With disadvantage, 2 17s makes it a 27 for Fyron. And yeah, go ahead and roll for flop.
Can flop fit in with me? Probably not,
No,
right?
no.
So 26 for flop.
26 for flop. All right. You all change your path, alter your path, and duck down low and quiet and gather around as you move a little bit quieter moving through. So, having heard this massive entity moving forward, it gets loud. Its footsteps getting louder and louder. You get to a point where the ground is actively shaking enough that you all basically need to hold still, or you will make noise. And at that point, you see a massive, brightly colored figure. It has this sort of reddish blonde, blue, green, gold, sort of feathery hide. But it itself stands. What is the size category? Huge. That's 20 feet?
Around 15 by 15.
Huge is 15
Largest
by
10 by
15.
10, huge is 15 by 15.
Okay. So yeah, so 15 foot tall, 15 foot long, something along that line. Massive, some cross between a bird and a lizard. As a Tyrannosaurus Rex stomps past. It does not notice you because you all managed to avoid its passive perception. You watch as while it stomps past, it pauses, sniffs the air. This massive fanged maw that doesn't look right on this like feathery torso shoots down with speed that you wouldn't expect for a creature that large. Clamps onto something that lets out a death cry, and pulls its head back up with what looks like some sort of. Actually, everyone, give me a either Arcana or Nature check, one of the two.
Oh, well, that was mean. The digital die flipped from a 19 to a 3.
Fair. So for most of you, looks like a panther, the sort of black, black furred lion thing that just sort of grabbed. The good goblins recognize a displacer beast. It just snatched a displacer beast out of the bush and is eating it as it walks away.
Didn't displace well enough, did you?
They don't see real well, but if they do see you, they eat you.
Okay, so I have a question.
Eventually, that shaking dies down. Yes, Craig.
So next level, when I can turn into things that don't have swim speed. If Grouper then tried to turn into a panther, would just nothing happen because he hasn't actually seen a panther?
Correct.
Oh, that's fantastic. Okay, cool. I'm putting that on my list of animals seen as panther.
Quotes.
And for your edification, the T-Rex is CR8, so you won't be able to
No, I
find
know.
one of those for a while. But you have seen one. Yeah, you managed to avoid the massive lizard bird thing that seems to exist in the jungle as the stomping gets further and further away.
Grouper slowly rises up out of the water and goes,
Okay, we're all thinking the same thing, right?
That was weird.
Now that was amazing.
So I'd say we're very rarely all thinking the same thing.
I was thinking I cannot wait till I get back to city missions.
It does give you appreciation now for why the walls are where they're at.
Oh, for sure.
Martin Victoria is going to keep going.
All right. Continuing on, it begins to get dark. Are you going to continue traveling in the dark, or are you wanting to find shelter?
Try and find a place to hole up when it gets dark. This place gets more dangerous at night.
Go ahead and give me survival checks, everyone that wants to, as far as for finding a suitable location to bunker down.
Nashka's going to see if she can find one of those hatches that litter this place.
Would still be a survival check.
All right.
may I guidance myself?
Also, you've only ever found one, so I don't know what you're talking about. Litter this place. Yes, you can guidance yourself.
Considering someone literally fell into one.
Oh, what the hell? I'll roll just to be funny.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if I remember right, we were told that there was more than just the one.
There is more than just one, yes, but
Dirty 20.
all right. So we got 18, 17, 7. 18, 17, 7, 15, 27. Okay. Enough of you rolled well enough that you can find sort of a small, like, it's not really a cave, it's not really a hole in the ground, it's something in between. There's a spot where because again this whole thing is slanted still, a small copse of trees like is sort of overgrowing something that looks like it may have at one point in time been a structure. But it's so densely covered in roots and vines and foliage that it's hard to tell what it was. But it does provide a bit of a wind and sight break that you can sort of put your back to and be fairly confident that unless it's coming through the tree, it's not coming at you from that direction, which will give you a bit of a spot to have a place to put your back against, which is really what you're looking for when you're trying to bunker down in the woods. Setting up tents or just sleeping bags? What are you guys doing as far as putting together a camp or wanting to do?
Martin Victoria is just perfectly comfortable just plopping down.
Mm-hmm.
Set up camp as best we can.
Okay. Yes fire, no fire.
Yes, fire.
Yeah, Gruber will start getting cooking fire and stuff together.
Dig a fire pit, put it out. Okay. All right. As the sun goes, thing that you notice, once the sun begins to go down, on the plains, you've got a long time for twilight. Once the sun dips to a certain point, it's just dark in the jungle. No more light. The dense trees and foliage basically mean that there is no twilight here. It goes immediately to dark.
Another reason for the fire. Not all of us have dark vision.
There. And as the sun goes down and as the darkness falls, the nightlife begins to awake and move about. You all begin to hear increasing volume of creatures and animals stirring in the night, maneuvering through the jungle, twigs breaking here and there, leaves being disturbed, the occasional fighting of some nocturnal animals, the occasional calls of various nocturnal birds. The jungle is just as active now as it was when you were passing through it earlier. How are we setting up watches? And is there anything else that's happening before you actually take your long rest?
Lord and Victoria's going to be on every watch.
Yeah.
I'll take whatever watch is needed. I can do any of them.
Same.
I'm not
Take one-
picky.
Not sure. Take one of the night watches just because dark vision.
I mean, they're all going to be night watches.
I mean, it's all night watches.
Yes, one of the particularly dark watches, like middle of the night.
They're all. If you've ever been in a forest, they're all equally dark. There is no difference.
And the only difference is going to be when the sun comes up.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we'll say first watch Najka, second watch Davina, third watch Najka, fourth watch Grouper.
One of those.
Why does Najka get 2 watches?
As I say,
Wait, did I say? Sorry.
You said first
Najka
and third
twice.
Sorry.
Najka.
First watch Elefira, second watch Davina, third watch Najka, fourth watch Grouper, if Grouper was volunteering for a watch. And the good goblins are on all of them.
That tracks. I'm good with it.
Yep, sounds good.
Night Tenebris gets his beauty sleep.
He needs it.
That sounds fair after last night.
Very sleepy German. All right. So yeah, anything happening before you guys bunker down for the night?
Grouper
does
will.
not seem like it. Unless, yeah, okay.
Yeah, nothing proactive from me.
I think just as we're getting everything settled and cooking up some food and stuff, Grouper will take food to Davina and just as giving as he's giving the food to Davina, we'll just go. We cool.
Mhm.
Okay. Thanks. Yeah. You okay?
Yeah. She's just kind of staring off into the distance.
Is she talking or is it in
She's talking right now because she's only giving you 1-word answers.
Okay. Gruber says, "This is probably the part where I'm like, I probably should claim that I kind of did it so that you'd have, a problem to fix. Because I know you like to work on things. But I just kind of fucked up. So I'm sorry. Again."
It's okay.
Richo, is she sitting, I guess, at this point?
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of walk over after giving her the bowl of probably root vegetables and dried fish that they've cooked up. Goes over and sort of leans over, bumps against her shoulder and goes, "I'm glad you're back."
She'll bump back.
Okay. That's all.
Elefira and Good Goblins, give us the first watch
Yep.
perception check. Elefira, you don't have dark vision? Or you...
I do not have dark vision.
All right, so disadvantage for you.
I'm pretty sure.
I mean, Ganassi do, but you had made the decision to not If I recall
Yeah,
correctly.
because I did the yeah.
So disadvantage for you, and then flat for the good goblins.
This will be hilarious.
Not because
Okay, that's not too bad.
It's not because you don't have light, because you do have light. It's just
Right.
it's so dark.
Yep.
All right, with a 14 and a 12. Move on to that song. There we go. With a 14 and a 12, for the first watch. Mostly you're just getting the sounds of nightlife. Nothing seems
Okay.
specifically oriented towards violence at your group. The good goblins, you do see in the distance something large swoops just at the edge of your dark vision and catches something that was trying to skitter past. And give me a nature check just to see if you can to get relative sizing here. Okay. Relative sizing, you weren't able to get clear details on what either thing was, but the flying figure was roughly the size of a minivan. And the not flying creature that was picked up was roughly the size of a moose. Both bigger than you guys by several degrees.
Right.
And all you caught was just the briefest, something, swift movement, a death cry, and then both things were gone.
Good reason to stay quiet.
Elefira, that was mixed in with a variety of the other sounds that you've been hearing.
Yep.
So, but nothing seems to approach the camp on the first
Okay.
watch.
Cool.
Second watch. Okay.
Nope. After everybody else is asleep, Ella's just gonna say, "So are we good?"
Hold on. I wanna roll to see if the good goblins are awake. Just roll a d20, I guess.
Because the suit keeps watch even if the goblins are asleep.
Yeah.
I love that, actually.
All right. Odd is awake. Nope. No response.
Well, no, there's a response.
Oh.
So you go, "Are we good?" And you hear back. I'm trying to think of exactly how to word it. Unable to answer query.
Ella gets up, walks over, and knocks on the helmet.
As the hand comes up to knock, as you go up to knock, one of the arms of the automaton just reaches up to catch, not like to harm, but like to stop.
Then I knock on the hand.
And the head,
It's all metal. It'll make the same
the
fucking
head,
sound.
the head turns to look, unable to answer query.
Does she manage to wake us up? Or does the suit manage to keep us asleep?
Make a perception check with disadvantage for the good goblins.
With disadvantage?
Yeah, for the actual good goblins themselves. Yeah, we'll say Meanie Manny wakes up. Yeah.
Does the suit just like turn up the white noise generator?
No.
Meanie Manny wakes up and the suit just looks around for a second and then puts down its hand and looks at you.
Am I talking to somebody or am I talking to the armor? That's in character.
I'm awake.
Cool. Can we tell who's talking
Generally
from
speaking,
the outside when somebody speaks?
not from the not from like the voice, but from the speech pattern. Generally, you're able to tell.
Okay. I just need to.
Full Martin Victoria mode.
Sorry, I don't mean. I know you're trying to sleep, and I. But are we fucking good?
Yeah, I think Gatsby's figured out how to move on. And it's hard to talk for peas,
Right. I get that.
but peas just sort of does peas stuff.
Right.
So I don't think he'll be a problem.
All right. And we're good then too, because you very specifically did not mention one of you in that.
Well, if it weren't for me, we'd be gone already.
I understand that. Just I've gotten very strong opinions from certain people. I've gotten a lack of opinion whatsoever. So I don't know if that's just being quiet because you don't want to address it or what. And I'm not asking for you to expound. I just want to make sure.
Being mad at you is so far down my priority list that it's not happening.
All right. Cool. Sorry to wake you up. I just needed to check and make sure, and we haven't really had a chance to talk.
That's all right.
All right. And I walk away, let them get back to sleep.
If you're watching Elefira, you're beginning to pick out the body language change from when it is in sort of an autopilot mode to when somebody is piloting it.
Okay.
As soon as Meanie Manny falls back asleep, the suit stops behaving like a person.
Right.
And begins behaving like a construct, basically.
Cool.
All right. Second watch. Another perception check from the Aormaton suit and from Davina this time.
Oh wait, that wasn't
18.
at advantage. Why was it at advantage in the first place? I don't know what's going on.
I don't know. Maybe you just instinctively swapped it to advantage from the disadvantage. I don't know. So 2 from the good goblins and 18 from Davina. It's getting harder for the Aormaton suit to differentiate between sounds right now. Just because a lot of small chittering animals are maneuvering around now. With an 18, Davina. It's how you can't remember the last time you've been in a place that was this alive at night, like even when you were in where did you get recruited from? Did you get recruited from Iman?
I think so.
Yeah. Even when you were in Iman, which has a healthy lifestyle, which has a healthy nightlife, it still wasn't this loud at night. And you're picking out just the sounds of big things that you don't want to run into in the dark, hunting. Do you have dark vision?
I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah, so you're not able to see beyond the basically the torchlight perimeter. It makes it even harder to see outside. It's actually disadvantage because you don't have dark vision, so go ahead and roll again.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. I just forgot about it. Forgot to check. So 5. I just had to roll again. So, yeah, inundated with sound and noise. Let me make a roll here. Who wants to roll me a D100?
Sure. Dead even.
Potentially emphasis on the dead.
Right. Ooh. Nice. Wait 1 second. So, Davina, you are keeping an eye out, keeping an ear out. And it's perhaps the fact that this particular thing makes no noise that is why you miss it. But you look to your side, and there is a massive, floating, blue, glowing hand that is in the middle of flexing its middle finger and flicks you as a living Bigsby's hand is attacking you.
Well, she screams
Oh, well,
at that.
yeah, the scream might be cut short. Hang on. Everyone that's asleep can make me perception checks with disadvantage. The good goblins don't need to because as soon as the scream goes off, you are woken up by the suit.
I feel like 10 is enough to hear a scream.
It is. If you 10 or better, you wake up.
Well, I got a 12 or a 12.
Then, I mean, the 12, you wake up.
I like how Dravian and I both rolled the exact same thing.
But in reverse.
In reverse.
Does a 23
Different
hit you?
die,
Does a 23 hit you, Davina?
It does.
Yes. Yeah. No, yes.
Does a 23.
You take 22 points of force damage as this middle finger flicks you in the face hard enough to knock you over.
Oh my gosh.
You are launched back 5 feet as you just slide across. Roll me a 1d6 real quick.
Okay. Two.
You are launched back and crash directly on top of Grouper as this thing flicks you onto away from it.
Sorry, Grouper.
And we are going to go ahead and roll initiative. I'm going to add you manually to the turn order, so feel free to just roll your initiatives and I'll add them. Because we don't need a map for this, because it's in the camp. It's not going to take long to get into melee with it.
20.
The old 7.
And it's going to go A. It gets an 11. It's a 14. Firing gets a 4. Grouper gets a 7. Davina gets a 4. 14. Najka gets a 19. Tenebris also gets a 4. Wow, so many of you are going on 4s. Elefir gets a 20. Good Goblins get a 17.
The fact that your dex is 18 and mine is 16 means that we rolled the exact same number on our d20s.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Elefira, you are the first to act after. So you wake up and sit up in time to watch Davina get flicked across the camp and onto Grouper by this massive hand. You are prone, so it will take half your movement to stand up, but it's not far enough away that you wouldn't be able to get into melee with it.
I was hoping to be in melee with it immediately.
Exactly. Yeah. You
because okay, so here is my question then.
Mm-hmm.
If I use steady aim, I can give myself advantage. However, that only works if I haven't moved. Is standing up going to count in that?
I'll say no, because you can just...
Okay, because it uses half your movement, but it's not necessarily movement itself.
You spend your movement, but you don't actually move. Yeah.
Right. So I get up, then I'm within range. I'm using bonus action for advantage, so I can potentially sneak attack.
Yeah.
And we will see how this goes.
So you just kip up, drop into a crouch.
Armature out. 18.
That'll hit.
For 16 damage total. That's including the sneak attack.
Oh, wait, sorry. An 18 will not hit. I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong number. An 18 misses. That was my fault. I was looking at the wrong number.
No, I think you were just being... Yeah, I think you were just making fun of me.
No, I was not. Genuinely. I was looking at the wrong number.
Fine.
But yeah, so you kip up, strike out with the armature, and it hits, but there's like this sort of like there's this mystical barrier almost that the magical hand seems to have at it that you strike, and it just sort of the tip of the armature can't get to it.
Fair enough.
Nashka.
Najka will stand up, get into the armor that is just standing next to where she was laying down for her action, and grab the forge hammer and her shield for her interact, and just get in front of the thing and just stand in front of it and be in the way.
All right. Good Gubbins.
Martin Victoria is gonna back up towards Davina to check and make sure she's all right, and blast it.
All right.
Oh, that one didn't work. That one was no good.
An 8 is a miss.
God, what the fuck?
Something seems to attract the electricity of the aromatic blast, and both attacks just strike wide and seem to strike what seems to be previously unseen bits of metal that were poking out of the like sort of root wall that you guys put your backs to. All right. Worm is going to attempt to flank with Najka and do a primal savagery.
Yeah, I was considering between doing the enhancement that makes it so that I can get in and out of the armor as an action, or just the enhancement that lets me sleep in the armor without any penalty, but I felt like getting in and out quickly was more dramatically interesting.
Yep. worm attempts to latch onto it with this magically enhanced fangs, but skids off it. The hand. The hand. I need. Force is not going to make a dexterity saving throw.
You guys, should we try to talk to the hand?
It's not listening. So yeah,
I'm gonna make an Arcana check next time.
you are grappled as this hand just opens all 5 fingers and then wraps around you, putting its thumb
Cool.
on your face.
Oh no!
By the way, for grabbing me, it takes D4 plus my strength. I'm sorry, that's at the start of my turn. Okay,
Sorry, Joe.
when my turn starts while it's holding me, it will be burned.
It's okay. At the start of your turn, you'll also be taking bludgeoning damage.
Yeah.
We'll see who lasts longer. Grouper.
You're getting thumb ward.
Yes,
Um,
it is doing
how
a
big
thumb
is
war
this
with your
thing?
face. It is large. So it is like 10 feet across from thumb to pinky.
Got it. Okay. If I'm allowed to ask, what is Davina's armor class?
He's
12.
I was like, I don't think he's wearing armor, so yeah, just not great.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was gonna say low, but yeah, just
All
trying
right.
to.
And she's not hurt, as far as I can tell.
She just got blasted the fuck back on top of you.
I'm very hurt. That thing almost took me out in one hit.
I assume so.
Okay. Well then, then for sure, I'm going to cast Cure Wounds.
Yeah, in case the numbers were missed by anybody else, it did 22 points of force damage to Davina's face.
Jesus.
Hold
maybe I
on,
should
where's
cast that
my
second
what
level.
does my thing work?
But so eight points of damage. You have that sensation of being like perfectly buoyed in a in a calm sea. And you heal 8 points of damage.
I'm going to use my reaction to expend Bardic Inspiration. That's a D4, I think.
Currently, yes.
I have it marked weird on my sheet right now. You get 4 extra healing.
Cool. So that's 12 for you.
Oh wait, plus my Charisma modifier. That's 8 extra healing.
Hey, all right.
Double the heal.
Nice.
Okay, I'm doing a lot better now. Thank you.
And then
Actually,
group
it's
goes-
a D6. It's actually a D6.
Ah,
So take the
the
4.
4 was better.
Yeah, take the 4.
And then Gruber goes, nobody freak out this time, and turns into a giant toad again.
All right. You should have in roll 20. You should have stats for Giant Toad if you need it there.
I do.
All right, Tenebris.
Technically, you have labeled it giant fish toad.
Yes, I have. To differentiate it from a regular giant toad.
Yeah, absolutely.
You also have a giant octopus or a giant octofish.
Giant octofish. Yep.
Tenebris.
Something fishy about these wild shapes.
Tenebris will try to crack it with his whip. Oh, you're still set to disadvantage. You don't need that.
Was it? You can get advantage on it with by flanking with Worm, but a 17 will miss anyways.
So, I tried.
Davina.
And figure out what she can do to this thing. She gets up, first of all.
You make it make intelligence saves.
What?
You make it make intelligence saves.
It can.
I'm saying,
Like, can I affect
your
this thing?
abilities?
Is
Make
what-
it make intelligence saves.
Yeah.
You haven't tried yet.
Yes, that's what. Okay. Okay, well, let's just try. Hold on. I was looking at something earlier. Take it down to it. Okay. I wanted to try distracting figment.
What does that do?
Let's try to put it in.
Just want you can see within 60 feet of you. The target must make an intelligence saving throw. On a failed save, it takes 1d10 psychic damage per side point spent, and thinks it perceives a threatening creature just outside of its sight. Until the end of your next turn, it can't use reactions, and melee attacks against it have advantage. All right. What is how many side points are you putting in? You have a limit to how much you can spend, but I think it's.
Oh, I know.
more than-
Yeah. I was gonna put 3 in.
Can you put 3 in at level 3?
Yes.
Okay.
At level 3, yes.
okay,
Yeah,
cool.
you can.
Yeah, and you can put 3 in.
Okay.
What's your saving throw? What's your saving DC?
Sorry, scrolling up. My what now?
Your save DC.
I'm sorry, where would that be?
On the spell tab of your character sheet, or what's your intelligence score?
My intelligence is 16.
So 3 plus 2
Plus 8
plus 8.
plus
So 13.
13.
Sorry.
Oh, fine. Its intelligence save is a -5. It rolled a 7. So go ahead and roll 3d10. It takes 18 points of psychic damage, and until the end of your next turn, it can't take reactions, and melee attacks against it have advantage. All right. That makes it Firen's turn, who is thankful for that advantage. He's going to run up and try to do it a smite. He's going to use the hammer form of the deck hammer. A 20 hits. So he's going to do 7 bludgeoning plus. He'll go ahead and burn a 3rd level spell slot for Divine Eminence. So 7 bludgeoning and thanks, Roll20. I can't see that number because the the tooltip won't go away.
20 radiant.
20 radiant. So all right, so
20 total.
20 radiant and
So-
7.
So 27.
27 damage. Right. Let's refresh Roll20 because I can't see anything. Hang on. I love when Roll20's tooltips break and block my line of sight. We'll end the stream. We'll be in the stream right after this fight. It's almost dead. Elefira, top of the round.
All right. Let's see. There's a number of people around this. Can I get in a flanking position with one of them?
I mean,
I know some people are flanking with others.
you have the advantage because of this, because of the ability Davina used on it already, regardless if you have flanking or not.
Okay, fair enough.
But also, yes, you can get into flanking with a couple of different people right now.
And let's see. Do, 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 do.
24 hits.
Double 24s
24 hits.
for 13 damage.
And it's dead. How do you kill it?
I think it's right down between like index and middle finger,
So you move
just
around,
right down all the way through.
yeah, move around, jump up, and stab down.
Yep.
And the mystical energy that is pushing on your head at an angle that was making your neck begin to feel like it was about to snap, Najka, suddenly relents as the hand dissolves into ether. And the group of you stand successful, having defeated a living Bigby's hand, which represented some of the more dangerous things that exist in the Tuarnian jungle. And as you all catch your breath, having just been awoken straight into adrenaline, that's where we're going to end for the week. Say goodnight, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, everybody.
Good night.
Goodbye.